I just graduated college actually.
Really?
So I've been doing this for 2 years. This will be my third season.
Where'd you go?
I went to Syracuse. So I love college football, but my team sucks.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah,
Are they still alive in the tournament?
we were banned from the tournament.
They announced Bayheim was retiring 3 years.
I was just happy. I got to see a Final Four when I was there. I was very excited.
Nice.
We just joined this group.
So this is the group right here. It's your tour guide right here.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I'll be back here too.
Good.
Questions.
You going along with it?
Yes, I'm in the back kind of corralling you.
I don't know where I put the tickets. We're already in, so I don't need them. All right.
Yeah, you put those in.
Hey guys, 2 floors. This is 1 floor, 500 square feet. But we give the players hot water for their showers. What else do they want, right? More than you give Auburn when they come to
Absolutely.
Oh.
When
When they
Auburn
come
comes
to
to
Bryant,
Tuscaloosa, they're in real trouble.
When they come to Bryant Denny, we don't give them anything.
There you go. Except aggravation.
Exactly.
And here's your bum whooping.
Take a look around, take some photos. We're going to come right back here. Our next stop, we're going to be walking up the stairs, and our next stop is going to be the Green Monster.
All right.
We're going to go sit on top of the left field wall.
Randy, you don't have to take that
My
abuse,
favorite
man.
section of the ballpark. Come on, folks, follow me.
I'm glad I didn't wear my Roll Tide shirt.
Yeah, really. I'll represent.
You try, man. You represent. You have to. And see, that's weird because when you wear Patriots gear down south, they'll give you free drinks.
Really?
Yeah, I swear it's true. So this is like backwards discrimination.
Our trainer is in this room here, so if a player needs treatment, taping, whatever they need, trainer is right in here. Go through this door, down a couple of stairs, long tunnel, up a couple of stairs in the visiting team dugout.
Which locker did you say was Jeter's?
This one right here.
Okay.
Lockers,
your phone,
lockers,
take some
the locker room here, the clubhouse
phone,
here
take some stuff.
is okay during the regular season. Roster has 25 players on it. From the 1st of April till the 1st of September. 1st of September, teams can increase their roster to 40 players. Imagine how it is here with 40 players. Just bringing in an oversized sofa, have a TV in here. It does everything a player needs. Lockers, showers, trainer, manager, access to the dugout without having to mingle with any players. All right, take a look around, take a photo or two if you want. Come on out, we're gonna head up to the wall. Here we go.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look around.
No, absolutely.
Give me a shot.
Come in here and stand against the wall, did we?
Huh?
So we didn't come in here and stand against the wall.
No, but you want to make a picture, you need the video.
Well, yeah, it's gonna make sense.
Yeah, you see it's all in Spanish and like Japanese.
Yeah, that's all
It is
old
small.
and hadn't been done, redone.
No. Wow. Well, that's true. That would just suck.
You got TV, you got a place to sit.
Season's here. Is that everybody?
That's every.
All right,
We're coming.
there we go. Follow me. Up in there, fireman Tim. Other maniacs with you, or you by yourself?
Well, I got a transplant here.
No, man, I'm from Mass originally. So.
You're not a maniac.
No, I'll never be from Maine.
All right, when I was growing up in this area, and I came to the games, this vehicle, bullpen cart, transported the relief pitchers from the bullpen along the warning track, drop the relief pitcher off in front of the Red Sox dugout. He'd then go to the mound and start working. It's not used anymore. What happens now is the relief pitcher runs from the bullpen, across the outfield, across the infield to the mound and start working. But a couple of years ago, to help celebrate our 100th anniversary, we brought back a lot of artifacts, a lot of memorabilia. put it on display for our fans to see. So for those of us who have been coming to Fenway for years and years, kind of gave us a little touch of nostalgia. This is also a great place to take a photo. You want to hop in the car, take a picture?
Patrick, your mother would have loved this.
Oh, glad she will.
She'd have freaked out.
Green on the seat.
Oh man. I hope we get to see the field.
I wonder how, I mean, don't they sell out or they have like day of game tickets?
Let's see. Been 2 years since we won a championship. Probably you can still get seats anytime. It's usually the year after you can't get seats when they're hot.
Jimmy's run. They're talking about the Jimmy V's run.
Yeah.
Valano, the cancer kitchen.
I think I'm losing my hearing.
Mine's terrible.
I can hear you, but I can't hear you.
All you hear is noise.
Yeah, I hear. See, that's what
That's what I always say.
Those beer taps.
Oh, nice.
Do you have a question, sir?
Yeah, where's the beer? Do we get beer?
2002, we were sold to a current ownership group. We are privately owned. City of Boston doesn't own us. Commonwealth of Massachusetts doesn't own us. Private ownership group, headed by John Henry, Tom Werner, Larry Lucchino. Their commitment from the very first was to keep Fenway Park. Not tear it down, not build a new ballpark. On the contrary, a couple of years ago, we were listed in the National Registry of Historic Places. So as you see Fenway today, this is how it is always going to look.
Wow.
And for those of us who have been Red Sox fans our whole lives, it kind of gives us a warm fuzzy. Just to know that the ballpark is always going to be here and always look as it does now. The owners did say in '02, we need to make some changes, need to make some improvements. And they embarked on 10 years worth of projects totaling over $300 million to assure that Fenway is structurally sound, economically feasible for at least the next 30 to 50 years.
Nice.
Very first thing they did was they put seats up on the Green Monster. 269 seats, 150 standing room only. No season ticket holders up there.
Yeah.
You can buy a ticket for a game. In fact, today, tickets went on sale for the games in April and May for the Monster seats. People want to know how much are the tickets up here. Depends on who we play and the day of the week. If you want to see Kansas City play here on a Tuesday, you're going to pay less than if you want to see the Yankees on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But I just heard today that the price ranges from $150 to about $500. One ticket, one game on top of the left field wall. That's a seat. We also have standing room only. About 150 standing room only. They'll cost considerably less, but you're still going to spend about $50 to $75 to sit up here. But you are about ready to have the most unique view of Fenway Park. In fact, one of the most unique views in all of Major League Baseball. Monster seats went up in 2003, first major renovation done by a current ownership group, and I'll talk about all the others later on in the tour. Get your cameras ready. It's pretty special there. Sir.
I may have missed this one because we got here really late. How many does Fenway
How many seats? We just added some seats this year. It's now, I think, 37,653. About 2,500 standing room only. Total capacity here is just under 40,000. Depending on where you look, it's the third or fourth smallest ballpark in the major leagues.
How tough
Only
is it?
ballparks with, I'm sorry?
I was just going to say, how tough is it to get a ticket on the game of the day?
There's always a way to get a ticket. We have scalpers around here, but we strongly recommend not buying a ticket from a scalper. We have a ticket agency, it's one of our official sponsors, Ace Ticket, you can get a ticket there. We put a couple hundred tickets on sale, day of game, right about where we are now. We also have an area out in center field. It's called the Scalp-Free Zone, overseen by our ticket office. Somebody has a ticket for a game and they can't use it, they go there and they sell it to a person who wants to buy it. face bag. Face bag. It's pretty special. You ain't seen nothing until you've been here for a Red Sox game.
Love to.
Especially a World Series game.
Yeah.
Which we're going to have this year.
Of course.
All right.
Absolutely.
The Patriots won the Super Bowl. This has to be.
Ready to go.
Great.
Let's do this. All right, Randy, we're gonna stop for a picture up here, too.
Pretty neat, isn't it?
Whoa!
Almost as good as Bryant Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, you're stretching.
Anybody see movie 10?
Yes.
2 years ago? This light tower right over here is a light tower Ted fell off.
It is.
That's it.
Oh, you see Ted too when they break into Brady's bedroom?
It's
I
coming
can't
up
wait for that
this-
to come.
They were here this summer, not at Fenway, but they were in the city this summer filming Ted 2.
Yeah, I saw that preview. I thought
I
that's
loved
great.
it. My wife hated every minute of it. We finally went to a guy flick after all those years of seeing lady
Yeah,
flicks,
exactly.
and she hated it.
Ah, that's too bad.
Come on in, folks. Take a photo.
Ted's one of those movies you watch the first time, it's not funny, but you can watch it again.
Oh, really?
It's one of the
Beautiful.
Okay,
All
got
right. Thank you.
it. Green.
You gotta send me some of these pictures.
Oh, Randy, absolutely. Can you get MMS?
If you look down
I'll
right
send you.
below us,
Around download.
you'll see a
I'll
patch
email
of
it to you.
green grass. Talk a little bit more about it when we get to the grandstand. But that is real grass down there.
Oh my God, you're right. There's some grass.
Really? Sweet.
First grass I've seen.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
This is a real treat, Lenscaping people. I mean, you're in Fenway Park.
What do you think, Lynn, Massachusetts? Pretty neat, isn't it?
When can I move in? Wow.
What do you think, sir?
I couldn't imagine watching the game out here. That'd be great.
Oh, sucking on some beer and a dog? Definitely. Yeah, that's it. Got to do this when,
Want me to get one for you?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What do I do?
some landscaping. Maine, what do you think? Huh? How many baseballs have you seen hit towards that Sitco sign? Green Monster? Never enough. Let's go from here to Gillette. Pile in a bus. We can do it.
13, yep. Oh, we do too.
All right, well, TD Garden would be closer.
Oh yeah, we can
The
teach.
garden's pretty close.
All right. Do you want the?
No, you narrate for a while.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing my best,
So-
but you're the talker.
All right, here we are. We are on the tour at Fenway Park, and now we're headed to. Well, I'm not sure where. Where are we headed? Do you know?
Down? Yeah, we're going down. Honestly, I don't know where we're going.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. Right, I know.
Like the Cubbies do.
It's way back. Yeah, I get ready to open.
Oh, look at all the seeds.
Gotta put the score.
Whoops. Oh. This is supposed to be where they get the beer.
Can I stand in that wall real quick?
Question, how much do these seats cost? They're going to run, again, depending on who we play and the day of the week that we play, we'll run somewhere around $55 each. $55 to $60 each. We're sitting in the grandstand. Come on in and have a seat. Can't stand when you're Get ready to sit in history. We're now sitting in history. We are sitting in the oldest seats in Major League Baseball. We're sitting in seats that are 81 years old. These seats were put in 1934. We have about 12,000 of these grandstand seats. They go from the Gulf sign up on the Green Monster underneath the roof of the ballpark all the way up to the retired numbers up in the right field facade. You are sitting in the oldest seats in baseball. You are sitting in among the only wooden seats in baseball. You are sitting in the most uncomfortable seats in baseball, right? Want to sit here for about 3.5 hours for a Yankee game? No, you don't. Seats were put in 1934 by Tom Yawkey. The year before, Mr. Yawkey, at age 30, bought the Red Sox and Fenway Park for what was then a record $1.2 million. But I'm jumping way ahead of myself. Let me go back to the beginning. Red Sox team history. Not here at Fenway. Red Sox team, we started playing baseball in 1901. About a mile to our right. There was a big open field back in 1901. It was called the Huntington Avenue Baseball Grounds. It's not there anymore. What is there is Northeastern University. One of our city's great institutions of higher learning. Northeastern University is located now where in 1901 the Boston Americans started playing baseball. That was our name back then. Boston our city, American our league. 2 years later, we won the American League Championship. National League, which has been around for the second part of the 19th century, National League champs were the Pittsburgh Pirates. You folks can hear me in the back, right? Well, there was a publication in New York called The World. Let's have a tournament, they said. Let's see who has the better team. Boston Americans or the Pittsburgh Pirates? Oh, that's a great idea, they said. But what are we going to call this tournament? Well, the name of our publication is The World. Let's call it the World Series. Very first World Series, 1903, Boston Americans against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Who do you suppose won that World Series? Who? Absolutely right. Boston, you think if Pittsburgh had won it, I would have brought it up? No way. Boston Americans, first World Series champs, 1903. 1908, John Taylor was our owner. Decided it was time to change our name, decided to change our uniform. Well, there was another team here in Boston at the time, the Boston Braves. They had a uniform that included red stockings. Owner of the Braves said, I want to get rid of the stockings. I'm afraid the dye of the stocking is getting into the wounds of our players. Got rid of the uniform. John Taylor said, I like that uniform. We're going to adopt it as our team uniform. Boston Red Stockings, he said. That's what I'm going to call my team. The Red Stockings, because we need more runs. Every morning I leave the house, my wife says, don't use the red stockings. Do you like that one? Oh, good. Wait till tonight. I'm going to tell I got a round of applause from a young man. By the way, you want to know how special Fenway Park is? This young man is celebrating his birthday today. How do you celebrate your birthday when you're from a Boston suburb? You come to Fenway Park. Well, stockings. Stockings. Can you hear me still?
Sure, just yell.
That's what I'm going to have to do. Stockings. Too long a word to put on the jersey. I'm going to shorten it to socks. R-E-D-S-O-C-K-S. Didn't look right. For the sake of symmetry, and much to the chagrin of every elementary school teacher in the city of Boston, S-O-C-K-S was changed to S-O-X. Boston Red Sox, 1908. 1911, still play Huntington Avenue baseball grounds. Too small. Held only about 2,500 fans. By this point, interest in the Red Sox in the region had really increased. John Taylor, still the owner, said, I want to build a new ballpark. February 1911. His father, General Charles Taylor, decorated Civil War veteran, publisher of the Boston Globe newspaper, bought the piece of land we're looking at right now. There was nothing here at the time. The Dana lands is what it was called, 8.5 acres. We are on the smallest footprint in all of Major League Baseball, 8.5 acres. We started construction here in September 1911. We moved in here April 1912. April 20th, 1912, we played our very first game here against a team called the New York Highlanders. Now the Highlanders are still playing baseball, but they're not known as the Highlanders anymore because in 1913, the New York Highlanders changed their name to the New York Yankees.
Why would you bring that up? You just ruined my day.
That's it. The New York Highlanders became the New York Yankees.
Boo!
Now you ruined everybody's day.
That's it. You know, we did in that first game. We beat the Highlanders 7-6 in 11 innings.
Yay!
We've beaten the Yankees here since day one.
No way.
Now we thought we were going to dominate the papers the next day. Open a new ballpark, beat our arch rivals, pushed off page one of the papers because a major story was happening in the Atlantic Ocean. 5 days before we opened Fenway Park, the Titanic sunk. Here's your frame of reference, how old the ballpark is. But by the time the 1912 season was over, we got plenty of coverage. We won the World Series in 1912. That gives us two. 1903, 1912. The best was yet to come. Summer of 1914, we took a trip to Baltimore. And there, for a total of $25,000, we purchased a contract of a left-handed pitcher from the Baltimore Orioles. Oh, could he pitch? As a pitcher, he led us to 3 World Series titles. 1915, 1916, 1918. This left-handed pitcher made us baseball's first dynasty. 5 of the first 15 World Series that were played, we won. We got tired of winning the World Series. We decided to take an optional break. 5, 10, 50, 86 years we went until 2004. Repeated, of course, in 07 and 13. We would have won more World Series titles in the 20s and 30s. And we all got on to that left-handed pitcher whose name was Babe Ruth. We had Babe Ruth. I'm going to talk more about him and more on our history when we get upstairs. In the meantime, I know we got a group right behind us. We're going to go up these stairs. We're going to head into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, going up.
Are you taping this?
I am.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
How you doing, Bama?
Good. How about you?
Fabulous.
He's loving it.
How can you be doing bad? Come on in, everybody. I want to point out our Hall of Fame hallway. All right, this is our Hall of Fame hallway. We opened it in 2006. We have about 75 to 80 members of our Hall of Fame. Some of the greatest players who have not only played for the Red Sox, but have played Major League Baseball are in our Hall of Fame, including, yes, Babe Ruth. Now, among our criteria to be inducted or to be considered for Hall of Fame induction is you have to have made major contribution to team success. He led us those World Series titles, 1915, 1916, 1918. But we had a problem. The problem was we had an owner named Harry Frazee. Harry and Babe Ruth never got along. They clashed constantly. On the day after Christmas, 1919, Harry Frazee sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees for $100,000. We might have been okay if Harry had stopped there, but he wasn't done. By the time he was finished, he sold 15 more players from that 1918 World Series team for an additional $25,000. That was a lot of money back then, $125,000. Harry could have bought a lot of players, could have fixed his ballpark. He didn't do either, because as much as Harry Freese liked baseball, real love, his real passion was Broadway theater. Took a lot of that money and put him into Broadway shows, one of which was called All My Lady Friends, later renamed No Nanette. Only good thing to come out of No Nanette was the song Tea for Two. The plays failed. So did the Red Sox. After being the best team in baseball during the teens, we wound up being the worst team in baseball during the 20s and 30s. During one 10-year period, we finished in last place 7 times, next to last 3 times. Well, as bad as the team was, that's how bad this ballpark looked. May of 1926, we had a big fire here. Destroyed a lot of the wooden benches that went down the left field line. 1926 to 1933, bad team, rundown ballpark. Baseball was in trouble in New England until 1933. Our savior came to town. Thomas Austin Yawkey, 30-year-old multimillionaire from South Carolina who earned his money the old-fashioned way. He inherited every penny of it. Bought the Red Sox, bought Fenway Park, Red Sox and Fenway Park, $1.2 million. Came here and spent another $1.5 million into 4 improvements we still have here today. First thing he gave us was those seats we just sat in. Second thing, he extended the roof. Third thing, he gave us our bleachers. And the final thing he gave us was the wall. Left field wall. Now, prior to the construction of the wall, we had a much shorter fence here. It was a grassy knoll and a fence. Well, no problem with balls going out of the ballpark, because at the turn of the 20th century, consistency of the baseball was more like a softball. It was called the dead ball era. Very rare for home run balls to leave the ballpark. Early 30s rolled around, evolution of the ball, more like what it is today. The live ball era was such an... Suddenly now, home run balls going over that fence. Businesses, stores, on the other side of the fence, windows were being broken. Mr. Yawkey was getting bills to replace those windows. So to walk out there one day, not only see broken windows, I saw fans standing on top of the buildings watching his team play. They didn't pay to come into the ballpark. They were freeloaders. How are you going to remedy that situation? Leveled the grassy knoll, tore down the fence, built the wall. 1934. 2 years later, 1936 balls were still going over the fence. Mr. Yawkey added a 23-foot net. Lasted from 1936 to 2003, when we tore down the net and put the seats up there. Now, for those of you visiting Boston for the first time, I have a caveat for you. Our alphabet has only 25 letters in it. We don't have the letter R. Unless the word ends in an A. You go to a restaurant, you order something cold to drink, you want to order an S-O-D-A. We call that a soda. Country, it's 90 miles off Key West, C-U-B-A, we call Cuba. The wall here is called the Green Monster at Fenway Park. Refer to that during the rest of your visit here in Boston. We'll know you're all natives, okay? So this is our Hall of Fame. Most of the members up here are former players. One of the prerequisites, as I mentioned, you have to have made major contribution to team success. Second, you need to have been involved with the Red Sox at least 3 years. Nowhere does it say you have to have played for the Red Sox. Our Hall of Fame includes Mr. and Mrs. Yawkey. Mr. Yawkey owned the team from 33 to 76. When he passed away, Mrs. Yawkey then from 1976 to 92 when she passed away. We have former general managers, field managers. We have 4 broadcasters in our Hall of Fame. Certainly, though, most of the members of our Hall of Fame are former players. So take a look at the wall here. We have Babe Ruth. My all-time favorite, greatest Red Sox player of all time, Ted Williams, one of the greatest hitters of all time. But you'll see many of the players here are also in the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. So we're going to see most of them on this wall. The others are going to be down the other end of the hallway. So take a look around. If you have a particular player that you like, or somebody strikes a fancy, be sure to take a photo. Any questions? Alec, how are we doing?
We're good.
We good? Perfect. Rooters. It's our first attempt at a Red Sox museum. Wonderful memorabilia there, photos, artifacts. There's a Babe Ruth bat that's on display there. Come on in, take a look around. There's a restroom on the far left-hand side of the room in case you need a restroom. Fan photo is there, so you can see the photos that were taken on our first stop. And the exit of the stairs leading down on the far right-hand side of the room, and that'll exit the ballpark. On behalf of the Red Sox, Alec and myself, want to thank you all for coming. We know there's a lot to do here in Boston. For you to include Fenway Park in your travels, we certainly appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at Fenway. If you think it's really special here today, come here for a game. Nothing like sitting in these stands in the grandstand where we were earlier, having a hot dog, having a drink of your whatever you want, and watching the Red Sox play. Pretty special. Happy birthday, young man. Thanks for sharing your birthday with us. All right. Thank you all very much. Follow me.
So you're having a good day, man. Definitely a good day. No. We have another good season.
Excuse me. Oh,
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sure.
2013.
They reacted right.
You were asking about game